Hey team, I have one more tutorial for you all, which is going to be the stretchy text animation. Start things off by creating a new composition. I'm going to call mine stretchy text. Same preset and duration as per usual. Create your text and format as you like. I'm intentionally using the word left as it has no curves in it, and it'll make it a lot easier to animate in this tutorial. Select your text layer and again we'll create shapes from this piece of text. With the new shape layer that has been created, again we'll remove the fill. Do this by clicking on the word fill and selecting the none option. We'll also turn on the stroke. Do so by clicking the swatch, selecting a color, and we'll make the width, again 5 pixels. Select our new shape that's been created, and then we'll come up to the search bar. This time we're going to search for path. We'll move our playhead forward to the 18 frame mark, and we'll set a keyframe underneath the path value for each of these letters. Move the playhead back to the start and then we'll select all of our letters. When selecting all your letters, make sure you're selecting all of their path options. Otherwise new keyframes won't be created once we move the letters off the right hand side. Next, select your original text layer and turn the visibility back on. We're going to use this as a guide. Also, we'll make sure that the color of the text is something that contrasts against the strokes that we have created. Next, I'll turn off the visibility for the E, F, and T shapes, so that only the L is visible in our shape layers. I'll move my playhead forward to frame 4, at which point I'll select the word path underneath the L shape. Hold down the shift key and click on one of the corners that you want to select. This will deselect this one corner as all the rest of them are currently selected. Next we'll select this corner so that this one is selected and all the rest deselect. We'll hold down the shift key to also select this top left corner. We'll now click and drag these so that they come slightly past the resting point of the letter. We'll then select all the anchor points for the rest of the letter and drag them back off the edge of the composition. After that, we'll move our playhead forward to frame 9. At this point, we'll select the 2 anchor points that have come past the resting point of the letter and we'll drag them back to where the letter should end. We'll also drag the anchor points that are not meant to be revealed yet back off the right hand side of the comp. We'll now move our playhead forward to frame 13. On frame 13, we'll drag forward the anchor points that weren't revealed yet so that they come past the resting point of the letter. We can now preview the animation of the first letter. Great, so our first letter is complete. We can now move on to the next letter. For our next letter, the process is exactly the same. We'll grab the anchor points on the left hand side of the letter and drag them in past the final resting point on frame 3. Next, we'll move forward to frame 9 and we'll move the left hand side of the letter to the final resting point. If any of the right hand side of the letter has come onto the composition already, we can select these and move them back off the side of the composition. On frame 13, we'll take the right hand side of the letter and we'll position it so that it comes in slightly past the resting point of the letter. So now we have the second letter animating on as well. Toggle off the visibility of the second letter and start working on your next letter. Continue doing the same process until all of your letters have been completed. Once all your letters have been completed, toggle the visibility for each of them back on. All of the letters are currently animating on at the same time, but we'll want to create an offset so that they have a little bit of overlap between each of them. Come forward to frame 13 and select all the keyframes for all the letters besides the first one. We'll drag these keyframes forward to the playhead so that there is now a 13 frame offset between the first letter and all the rest of them. Next we'll move the playhead forward to frame 26, or 1 second and 1 frame. Next we'll select all our keyframes after the second letters and move them forward to the playhead. Finally, at 1 second and 14 frames, or frame 39, select the last letter's keyframes and drag them forward to the playhead, completing your 13 frame offset between each of the letters. Now let's preview the animation. Next I'm going to add easy ease to all these keyframes. So I'll click and drag a selection box around all of them and then hit the F9 key to apply easy ease. Once that's complete, we can close up the options for the shape layer and also turn off the visibility for the original text layer. And that's how I created the stretchy text animation. Thanks for watching team, and good luck with all your lyric videos.